Brendan Sorsby is done playing college football. Breaking news: he is going to the Supplemental NFL Draft. The legally tampering situation is over with. And what's next for Texas Tech? We discuss more today on the show. All right. What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to the show, man. So, breaking news about 50 minutes ago. All right, Brendan Sorsby officially is headed to the Supplemental NFL Draft. Okay, this is major news because more came out earlier today on this matter, right? And here is Pete Thelma who had this news first. Okay, so right, Brendan Sorsby plans to enter the NFL Supplemental Draft amid the legal wrangling over his NCAA eligibility. After admitting he bet on sports, he intends to head to the NFL Draft, right? And here was earlier, and I told you guys in a previous video, I said this is major because I said, it's no longer just right one team or that team, Nebraska or Georgia, right? This is the whole gamut. This is the whole thing, right? When you have a conference against it, all that stuff, y'all, makes a major difference. And that is what we saw unfold. And it happened pretty quickly, right? It just simply wasn't going to be a thing where you were going to see, okay, yeah, he can play. It was too much ammunition. There was too much fire. Now, this was the earlier report about On3, right? Big 12 has filed a legal complaint against Texas Tech and Texas AG Ken Paxton to enforce his bylaws and potentially sanction the school for plans to play Sorsby, right? And basically the bylaw says no player that has betted on their team, right, or has done anything as far as wagering a bet is going to be able to play college football in our conference, right? So that's what I was saying. Yeah, you had the AG, Ken Paxton there. Yeah, you had all these people, but as I told you guys, there was too much was invested in this. When you start seeing the Big 12, all of the commissioners, all the ADs against it, when you start seeing the Big 10, them coming together, them being against, even today, seeing Michigan volleyball team didn't want to play Texas Tech, just based off of this ruling alone, right? And it's a win for the NCAA because you needed some legs finally. Now there's still a whole bunch of, it's a myriad of problems that you're going to have to figure out and that you're going to have to obviously try to do. But at least at this one, you had some backing from other conferences. You had some backing from commissioners and ADs on this problem, right? And if you're the NCAA, they definitely going to have to do something. One, they're going to have to adapt. Two, they're going to have to get some better leadership because it can't be always, as people have been saying, oh, yeah, I can just sue inside my state legislature, right? And I can overcome that problem, right? We've seen it earlier with a Clemson player, right? Felt like his JUCO year shouldn't have counted. And then what obviously happened with that? He ends up getting granted that 5th year, right? And for those that are saying, well, Najeh, why was this an issue? Why was this a problem, right? For those that don't understand, for the millionth time, right? It's an integrity issue, okay? I don't know what's so hard about that for people to understand. It was never a Texas Tech issue, right? Y'all went and got him. Apparently, you didn't do enough research, but you went and got him to be the starting quarterback. You paid him $5 million. And as it says here, they're not going to seek the return of any money paid to Brendan Sorsby through his NIL agreements with the university. Cool, right? They're not even looking to pursue the money that they already gave, bro. Okay? So that's a blessing for him anyway. Number two, again, it's bigger than football. It's an integrity issue. When he goes on that field, who is to say he ain't going to try to throw a game? Who is to say, right? Oh, they're losing by 30 points. Who's to say he didn't have a bet wagered, right? It's just not a good look. None of the professional leagues or any other league for that matter has that, okay? The one that's dealing with right now is the NBA. Terry Rozier just had to forfeit his 2025-2026 salary. It's gone. Bye-bye. Gone. Chauncey Billups is no longer coaching. Gone. Bye-bye. Like, that's not a thing. It will never be a thing. When it is, you might as well just stop watching sports at that point, right? Now, I know people can say, well, nah, it's just a little bit contradictory because they have deals with sports companies, sports betting companies and all that stuff. Yes, they do. You guys are right. But it's different. It's not the same thing, right? Having a deal with a sports betting company to promote and having the players within the NCAA legislation or within the NCAA bracket or whatever professional league it is, actually betting, actually wagering on their own stats and their own players on the team. When has that ever been okay? When has it? So as I told you guys, it's always had legs to it, okay? Because it started with Georgia and Nebraska, then the Big Ten joined forces and said it. Then you had the Big 12, where all the commissioners came together. That's too many authorities. Once you get into big authorities like that, that's it. There's no coming back, right? So I think it's a wise decision from the young man to enter the supplemental NFL draft, right? And no disrespect to college football, even though it's great, it's phenomenal. NFL has more resources, right? And that is a play around league. You cut and do this stuff once, you're gone, you're done, you're banished forever, right? So you don't have no choice, right? He's good, 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's a good quarterback, but his decision making, right? How he thinks about things is obviously has an issue. You can't do that when you've betted over $90,000, $9,000 worth of bets, and you also did it at Texas Tech, right? You had family members placing bets on different stuff. So it comes to a point like for those that don't get it still, it's integrity. No, Texas Tech didn't do nothing wrong. They didn't know about it, right? If they knew, they probably wouldn't have pursued him. But for Texas Tech, you got to wake up and be like, yo, this ain't right. Yo, it ain't just about us. It's about NCAA. What are we allowing here? That's what this came down to, y'all. So for those that don't understand it, like that was the underlying issue. I keep trying to tell you guys that. That was the issue. Okay? So now everybody can move on and we can move in a different direction with this, right? Now for Texas Tech, right? Not everybody hates you, right? They'll hate you a little bit because it was like, bro, you was about to really try to let this happen. But you finally wisened up. I don't know, obviously mutually parted ways. But now you can move on. You can turn the chapter. You can focus on the season. This is behind you. This will be an afterthought, especially if you have a good year. Okay? But next time a situation like this arises, think integrity, not our own personal best interest, right? It's really that simple. Can't make it no more simple than that. It's really that simple. All right. So that's my thoughts on it, man. Crazy situation to say the least, right? And now we get a chance to see kind of what's next. Okay. Here's what was reported. World Caribbean on 3 says the situation is evolving with pending legal matters before he obviously made a decision, right? An upcoming start of the football season, right? Where did I last read that? Sorry. Okay, here we go. And the conference hopes for a timely resolution of these issues. The board continues to keep all options on the table. The latest file about NCAA seeking a stay on the injunction granted to Brendan Sorsby was major escalation in the case. The NCAA was seeking a more timely resolution to the case than what had been previously set on the table. Now, mind y'all, I'm going to revisit that real quick while all of you guys are in here. Remember, they set this trial for February like 27th or February 25th, whatever it was, the end of February. This season going to be over. How does that help anybody in this situation? Somebody let me know, please. How in the hell does that help anything in this situation? So that was my point. And like it gets to a point like, yo, y'all are making this painstakingly clear. Y'all don't plan to find this resolution. We need to find a resolution as fast as possible. It's true. ASAP. And y'all playing around. Laugh, get good. Like, no, we needed this as soon as possible. Right? So more on the story says that the trial court's temporary injunction sweeps beyond anything Texas law permits, the NCAA filing read, undermines the integrity of college sports, rewrites member-adopted rules of the National Collegiate Athletic Association, immunizes Brendan Sorsby from discipline for admitted and serial violations of NCAA anti-gambling rules, incentivizes a run on courthouses across the country to challenge even the most obvious and straightforward student-athlete eligibility decisions, and demolishes the status quo. And 100%, right? It's eroded the NCAA, right? Completely eroded them as a conference, as an institution, right? And that's why I said they're going to have to figure this out congressionally and get the right people in place, because you can no longer have this. It's going to be consistent. But at least now, other people bonded with you and dropped their nuts. It wasn't, oh yeah, this is the same thing over and over again. Like, nah, somebody finally wisened up and was like, okay, cool, like had your back. And that was the problem. NCAA's been going it alone. Now, finally, you have other conferences coming together to help, right? And that's why I was telling Texas Tech fans, you know it's an issue Well, it ain't just one team; it's multiple conferences coming, and the NCAA as well. That's when you knew it was an issue, right? And I'm glad for the ruling because today, college football wins. Whatever you guys want to say about this, however you guys are going to feel, today the college football won because we don't need this in the sport. We don't need people betting on games while they're on the team and being able to play college football. No. So today the NCAA won. While Texas State might have lost this for sure, right? Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all gonna get the right quarterback. Y'all get the right people in place to have a competitive season. But just do it the right way. Once you found out about this, you're like, nah, man, like we appreciate you, but we gotta let this go. I'm glad they finally came to their senses. And for Sorsby, bro, please learn from this, bro. At least you are good enough. You have an opportunity to go play in the NFL. You might get suspended. I don't know what Roger Goodell and all them going to do. You will be the top quarterback available. You know what I'm saying? There are situations out there for you. So, bro, take this as a learning opportunity, right? And for other college athletes, take it as a learning opportunity to wake up. Don't blow an opportunity. Like he blew a $5 million opportunity. You know what I'm saying? $5 million. You know what I'm saying? Now, he still, obviously, he doesn't have to pay that back. He don't want to seek nothing. Cool. Texas Tech was smooth about it. But still, what a great opportunity for himself. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a situation, y'all, I don't understand. I don't, if he soars me. Like, what was the purpose? Never learned the lesson, right? So, as I was saying earlier, the NCAA college football won because we don't need that in sports. There's a lot of problems. I ain't gonna say this has been a smooth road. There's a lot more things that got to get solved. A lot more things that got to happen. But today, at least college football won, right? And we don't have this in our game. We don't need it. We got other issues, NIL, transfer portal, so on and so forth. We got so many other issues. We don't need this issue as well. And it goes to show you the power of sticking together, right? And that's the important life lesson here. I want people to know, right? Yeah, the ruling happened. Yes, so it's going to NFL draft. Cool. Supplemental NFL draft. Cool. We have lost today in our society of bonding together on issues. We're so divisive on everything where this person thinks this person thinks that. Oh, yeah, he's a bad person. Oh, yeah, he's a terrible person because he believes and thinks this way. Instead of having that camaraderie and that empathy to understand and come together. We don't have that no more in society. And it's sad. It really is. And that's my point I would bring up. Like, it's so sad of where we are as a society where we can't even bond together on small stuff. You know, we can't even bond together on particular issues to help make a better life for everybody, right? I got to be right. No, I'm right. No, you're right. No, I'm right. There is no middle ground. There is no commonplace. It is sad. But this situation here, people going to overlook it. But it showed you when people come together and bond together of what the true power they have, right? And again, like I said, I'm not coming for Texas Tech people. I don't think you guys are a terrible program. I just think you got put in a terrible situation. You could have done way better and not allowed to get to this point. But take it as a learning lesson. When you come together, you bond together, bro, it makes a difference. It truly does. So I hope his lessons are learned for Sorsby, Texas Tech, and all of them. I hope a lesson is learned in all of this and that it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That is my biggest hope. You know what I'm saying? That is my biggest hope. So, last comment for those who are watching. This is from Texas Tech statement on Brendan Sorsby when Brendan's lawsuit resulted in the granting of a temporary injunction and found themselves in a difficult situation. Okay, so Texas Tech issued the following joint statement Monday evening from President Lawrence S. and Director of Athletics Kirby Holcutt. Earlier this evening, Texas Tech University Board of Regents Chairman Cody Campbell issued an update on Brendan Sorsby and announced he will not be a member of the Red Raider football program this fall. When Brendan's lawsuit results in the granting of a temporary injunction, we found ourselves in a difficult situation with his health and wellness as our top priority. We supported him in spite of very different perspectives and opinions. Our position was challenged by many, but our support for him never changed. We will continue to extend all available resources that Brendan had as student and the athletes to ensure his transition is as successful as possible. We heard from many Red Raiders, and we appreciate your passion. Please know that Texas Tech will continue to be a constructive voice in matters related to health and well-being for all our students. So that was their statement. Cool. You guys got a chance to see the statement and everything that they had to say. And obviously, they are not seeking the return back of the $5 million that they ultimately lost. Okay. So that's the situation. That's my reaction. like I said, I think college football won today ultimately, and I think it makes it better. Now it's a lot more work to do. A lot more work to do, right? NCAA got to get it together, and we need to see more bondage, more people coming together for resolving issues. You know what I'm saying? We definitely need that moving forward. Till we get that, we're gonna have a whole bunch of problems. But betting on your team, we should never see that in college sports. Let's just be honest. That doesn't need to become a thing, nor ever should be a thing. Period. So that's my thoughts. That's my reaction. Again, I'm wishing him well. I don't have no ill will against Brendan Sorsby. I wish him well. I hope he balls in the NFL. Right? I hope he plays at a high level. But he didn't deserve to play college football after that. You're done. Right? That's the one written rule. You break that, you're done. Right? Sometimes you got to stay on business with that. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching the show. All 5 people, got up to like 10 people watching live. Love y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hype up this video. And I'll see you guys, obviously, in the next one. And remember, as always, peace and love.